This part is extremely vital when it comes to doing any phone call, any negotiation, because without your introduction, you're not even going to have the opportunity to speak with any of these sellers. Normally, folks try to sound very, very professional when they call, but people do business with people that they like. And so when you are doing your introduction, it really needs to sound like you know these people. Like if these people are your actual friends or family, when you're able to do that, you're able to go ahead and have a genuine conversation, a genuine introduction, and it would avoid your disconnect rate ginormously. What do I mean by disconnect rate? When you call, hi, I'm looking for such and such, Mr. Seller. 9 times out of 10, most people think that you're a spammer. Most people won't even give you the opportunity to even move forward and explain why the heck you're even calling. And so the introduction to me is absolutely everything, and it must be mastered. It sounds so elementary, but just saying hi like a normal human will get you much further than trying to sound scripted or trying to be ultra professional when you're making your phone calls. It is the most intimidating part and the most vital part of this particular mastery. And so what I would like to do is show you specifically how I make every single call where it's a rinse and repeat and increase the opportunities to continue a conversation with all of these homeowners. Now, again, it may sound very, very elementary, but I literally say, hey, Bob, hi, Bob, because why? They give you 2 opportunities. 2 opportunities are what? Number 1, he's going to say yes, and he is confirming that it's Bob. And he can't BS you saying, no, you got the wrong number, which most people have this concern all the time. Oh, I dialed the wrong number, right? Or you got the wrong number, and then they hang up. Why? Because if you call, hey, I'm looking for Bob, Bob might think that you are a telemarketer, a debt collector, an insurance agent, I don't know, home warranty company, and they're tired of the phone calls. They don't know who you are. They don't recognize your number. Maybe your number even came up as spam. But when you call someone by their first name and you say it in a manner where you are friendly, like if you know this person, just like you would call your aunt, like you would call your cousin, like you would call your best friend, the likelihood of that person staying on the phone is much greater than if you're looking, or I'm searching, or I'm hoping, or Mr. and Mrs., because it's very impersonable. So many people have so much trouble even doing their introduction and explaining why they're even calling. What I would like for you to do is to practice my script. And in my script, it is literally, hi, Bob. Hey, Bob. Hey, Bob. As if you are certain that it is the person that it is answering the call, that this is the person that you're actually looking for. Even if it ends up being a woman, it doesn't matter if it's the wrong person. You're doing it with so much conviction that even if it's the wrong person, maybe it's the wife, maybe it's a cousin, maybe it's a caretaker, they're gonna tell you, oh no, Bob is not available. That's an amazing opportunity. Why? Because now we confirm that there is a Bob at this house versus, hey, you got the wrong number, or hey, who are you? Or hey, I'm hanging up on you, right? And you don't have that opportunity. So I need you to practice that introduction, because I promise you, the amount of conversion that you will have by utilizing that one little sales trick will absolutely increase your opportunities to find deals. Okay, now that you're able to practice saying hello, which again, I know sounds very, very elementary, we literally have less than 1 second to leave an impression. The moment that they say, yes, this is I, or no, this is the wrong number, your following communication is going to be as follows. Oh, my name is Juan. Juan, who's this? You want that. You want to do an introduction where you're already having conversation. What ends up happening is that most salespeople or people that are practicing making calls, they try to do the vomit effect. They're so nervous or they're untrained where they're literally saying, hi, I'm looking for Mr. Bob because I'm looking to buy a property in the next 30 to 45 days. And it's like, what just happened to me? No, you got the wrong number, and I hang up, right? So what you want to do is you want to practice, giving and taking. Hi, Bob. Yeah, this is Bob. Hey, Bob, this is Juan. As if they know you. That is extremely important, that you just go ahead and spit out your name. And you want to create that little level of confusion because you want to interrupt their thought process and their thought pattern. By cutting off their thought pattern, they're wondering, what Juan is it? Is it Juan the gardener? What Juan is this? Is this Juan my friend, right? Oh, who is this? This is Juan with XYZ company. I know you get tons of these calls, and I don't want to take any more of your time, or I don't want to take too much of your time. The reason for the call, really quickly, is in regards to your property on 123 Main Street. You don't, when you do that part of the sale, you don't do the entire address. They know their entire address. They know what city they live in. They know what apartment number they have. They know what zip code they have. There is no need to do that. A lot of times, I just say 123, right? Let's just say 6996. I just say on your property on 6996 or on Main Street. Yeah, what about it? Well, look, I'm just looking to purchase 1, maybe 2 more properties here in the next 30 to 45 days. I just want to know if you would even consider selling that property. What this does is, number one, you're giving them, when you say, hey, I know that you're receiving tons of calls about this property, specifically for those people that maybe have their properties advertised online, right? They obviously are receiving a lot of calls, or folks that are companies that are doing a lot of outbound lead generations, like cold calling, text messages, right? RVMs. When you have that type of list and you're doing that outreach, you cannot pretend that you are the first person that they've ever spoken to. You can't pretend that you are the first call of the day. So because that is a deal killer, right? Where so many people are calling, so many people are reaching out to them day after day, well, you have to be different and you have to confront that objection because you know it's coming. And in this mastery, you'll see that a lot of the skills that I'm going to show you is basically confronting what is inevitable. The moment you're able to confront the inevitable, the higher likelihood you have of being able to convert and have a true communication with these homeowners and sound a little bit more like an expert, okay? Because if you already know that so many people call these folks, right? Well, then I'm gonna let them know, listen, I know that you get a ton of these calls, right? But I'm just giving you a call regarding that property you own on 123 Main Street. Just wanted to know, right, if you would even consider selling that property. And you must say it in that tonality, because that word even, when you look at it in my script, it is capitalized. Why? Because you're not insinuating that the property is for sale. You're not insinuating that they're looking for offers. You're not insinuating that you saw an advertising for that property. What you're doing is you're asking them, hey, would you even consider selling that home? Versus, hey, would you want to accept an offer on this home? Would you consider an offer on this house? Are you selling the home, right? Because what ends up happening with a lot of folks that are not reaching out to you and you're doing this type of marketing, whether it be cold calling or text messaging or RVMs or just mass communication period, is these folks are not advertising anywhere that they are selling their home. And so therefore you're going to get a rejection. What they're going to do is going to say, who told you I'm selling? Where did you get my number? Did you see a sign in front of my house? Is my house advertised on the internet? Why are you calling me? At that point, it's going to be either a yes or a no. They may say, hey, potentially depending on your offer, right? Well, I'm not here to give you an offer. I'm asking if you would even consider selling, because I'm only looking for 1, maybe 2 more properties here in the next 30 to 45 days. Why do I also do that? I do that because I'm adding a bit of scarcity. I'm adding a limitation there, like, hey, look, I'm not trying to buy the whole block, okay? I'm not trying to make offers on everything. What I'm looking for is I only have space for 1 or 2 more properties, and I just want to know if you would even consider selling this home. I'm going to go ahead and give you another alternative to a homeowner that may say, hey, who are you? Another icebreaker that works very well is doing an apology. Simply by saying, hey, sorry, I know you don't know me. My name is Juan, and I'm actually giving you a call about that property on 123 Main Street. Sir, would you even consider selling that property there? That sorry allows them to kind of level down and not feel, pressured, right? Or bothered by the fact that you just randomly call this person, okay? And so you can try both variations, where you can simply just say, sorry, I know that we don't know you, or, hey, I know you get a bunch of these calls, right? Those 2 variations will allow you to kind of break the ice with the seller and give you an additional opportunity to continue with your script. Now, let's just say the homeowner says, yes, I actually would consider selling. This is a very, very important part of the conversation, because you must ask them if you called them at a bad time, okay? Why is that? A lot of times when we call, we have no idea where they're at. They may be in an Uber ride. They may be at a supermarket. They may be at a doctor's office. They may be in front of that nosy cousin that wants to know everything, and they're not comfortable giving you information. You know that in the process, you're going to start asking them for what seems to be personal information about their home. And so you want to make sure that you have them in a position where you can do the sale, where you can have a conversation in order to extract the information that you definitely need in order to structure the deal. So it's vital that you do not skip this step. As soon as they say, yes, I would consider selling, you must ask them, hey, did I catch you at a bad time? It's a critical part of the sale, because if not, you're going to get cut off at some point, because you might have rambled, you might have overlooked that, and they then tell you, hey, listen, you know what? I'm actually going into a doctor's office meeting. Can you give me a call back later? And you've been on the phone with her for 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes of your life you're not gonna get back. And the likelihood sometimes of getting them back on the phone, it's a bit of a struggle. So it's best that if it is a good time, then perfect. Now you have permission to go ahead and move forward. If it's a bad time, you want to go ahead and say, hey, look, this is a very, very serious conversation that I want to have with you, because I am looking for 1 or 2 properties. When is the absolute best time that I can reach out to you so that we can have this conversation and I can potentially see if it's a good fit for what I'm looking for? When you do that, you want to make sure that you have a very, very firm appointment. When you set appointments, make sure that it is very, very important and that you respect their time. He tells you, yeah, you know what, call me at 5 o'clock. Okay, perfect, Bob. I really appreciate that. Now, when I call you at 5 o'clock, do you have anything else on your agenda that may cause you not to answer my call? Trying to discover and confront a lot of the things that homeowners do, okay? And so if you use that confirmation, making sure that you set that clear appointment, at that point, you're gonna get 3 yeses. No problem, I am going to be there. No, of course I wouldn't ghost you, right? Of course I wouldn't ghost you. Okay, great. So again, my name is Juan, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you a call at 5 o'clock. I understand that life happens, Bob. But what I ask is that you be respectful of my time, and I'll be respectful of yours. I will be respectful of yours. If for whatever reason you're not able to take my call at 5 o'clock, would you be courteous enough to send me a text message or leave me a voicemail if you're not able to talk to me today at 5 o'clock? Because again, I want to remove some of my later commitments so that I can have this serious conversation with you. Like that, they respect you, right? You're not just some other Joe Blow sales guy trying to call them about their property. So it's very, very important that you make that appointment so serious, right? And confirm it at minimum of 3 times, okay? And then you tell them that you're gonna extend the same courtesy. Look, if I can't make the call, rest assured, Bob, that I won't leave you hanging. What I'll do is I'll send you a text message or I'll leave you a voicemail, okay? Letting you know that I wouldn't be able to make this call. Okay, so I appreciate your time, Bob. Can't wait to speak to you at 5 p.m. I think we can do something here and leave that little carrot where now they're interested in what you have to say. Okay, great. All right, now let's just say the seller says, no, I am not selling. Okay, I'm not going to consider an offer. I'm not looking to sell my property. Fantastic. No, I appreciate you taking my call, Bob. What I would like to do is, look, I'm only looking for 1 or 2 properties in the area. If you know of anyone, a neighbor, a friend, a family that is looking to sell their property pretty quickly, please keep me in mind. Can you please save my number on your phone as Juan the house buyer? And if you do so, I would love to contribute to one of your favorite charities if I'm able to do a deal with anyone that you refer, or cover any of your utility bills as a thank you. You think you can do that for me? Yes, that'd be great. Awesome. Okay, well, again, my name is Juan. This is my direct telephone number. You can save it there. I'm actually going to text you when I'm done here with my contact information. I really appreciate your time, Bob. I hope you have a wonderful day. Why do I do that? What you want to do is you want to leave a lasting impression. You should have a mindset, and we'll get into the mindset aspect of this course. You want to leave an impression. You want to leave these people with value. You want to leave them with a sense of professionalism, so that maybe they will. You know how many deals I've gotten where it's like, listen, man, you are such a nice guy. Actually, my neighbor over here mentioned that he wants to sell. So I told him, hey, look, this is this guy, Juan, the house buyer. Go ahead and give him a call. Then I'll have the neighbor actually give me a call. Sounds random, right? But I received the call and say, hey, yeah, my neighbor Bob says that you buy houses, man. Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate that. How can I help you? Now you have an inbound lead, somebody that's actually interested in doing a deal with you, right? So you have to leave every conversation with value, not just say, okay, well, thank you, goodbye. You have to think, you have to have forward thinking, and you have to have this level of professionalism, and always leave with value, because you just never know, right, what that lead will turn out to be.